atomic bomb, one of humanity's greatest and most terrifying inventions. A force that changed the course of history forever. From scientific discovery to the shadow of global warfare, this is the story of how the atomic bomb came to be, its devastating impact, and its enduring legacy. It all began in the early 20th century, during a time of remarkable advancements in physics. In 1896, French physicist Henri Becquerel discovered radioactivity, an invisible force that would eventually fuel one of the most powerful weapons in human history. In 1905, Albert Einstein's theory of relativity introduced the famous equation, E equals mc squared. This equation suggested that mass and energy are interchangeable. It would later lay the theoretical groundwork for the atomic bomb. As the 1930s unfolded, the world was on the brink of war. Meanwhile, groundbreaking scientific discoveries were happening. In 1938, German scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann discovered nuclear fission, the process in which atoms of uranium split, releasing an immense amount of energy. This discovery would prove to be the key to unlocking the power of the atom. At the same time, Adolf Hitler's rise to power in Germany raised global concerns. There were fears that Nazi Germany could harness this newfound power for weapons of mass destruction. In 1942, in response to these fears, the United States launched the Manhattan Project, a top-secret research and development effort aimed at building the world's first atomic bomb. Led by physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, the project brought together some of the greatest minds of the time, including Enrico Fermi, Niels Bohr, and Leo Szilard. With vast resources and funding, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly at remote sites like Los Alamos, New Mexico. The project faced countless challenges, but after years of work, it was clear the atomic bomb was becoming a reality. On July 16, 1945, history was made. The first successful test of an atomic bomb, known as the Trinity Test, took place in the deserts of New Mexico. The blast was blindingly bright, and the shockwave could be felt miles away. The world had just witnessed the birth of a new era, one defined by the power of nuclear weapons. The moment was bittersweet for the scientists involved. Oppenheimer famously quoted a line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The weight of what they had just unleashed was heavy. By mid-1945, the Allies had made significant progress in the Pacific theater. Yet Japan's military leadership refused to surrender, despite the heavy toll the war had taken on the country. The United States was determined to bring the war to an end. But at what cost? The President Harry S. Truman, who had assumed office after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, was faced with an agonizing decision: how to end the war quickly while avoiding a costly invasion of Japan that would result in even more loss of life. In July 1945, Truman was informed that the atomic bomb was ready for use. Despite the bomb's terrifying potential, many leaders saw it as the only way to force Japan to surrender, without having to launch a bloody invasion that could cost millions of lives. On August 6, 1945, at 8:15 a.m., the city of Hiroshima became the first target of the atomic bomb. The B-29 bomber Enola Gay took off from the island of Tinian, carrying a single bomb known as Little Boy, made from uranium. The bomb was released over the city, falling for 43 seconds before detonating with a force that would change the course of history forever. The explosion instantly killed an estimated 70,000 people and flattened the city in a single moment. Within minutes, thousands of lives were lost. Those who survived were left to grapple with the physical and psychological toll of the attack. Radiation poisoning would continue to take its toll for years to come. Just 3 days later, on August 9th, 1945, another atomic bomb was dropped, this time on the city of Nagasaki. The bomb, called Fat Man, was more powerful than the one used on Hiroshima. The target was a heavily industrialized area crucial to Japan's war effort. Like Hiroshima, Nagasaki was obliterated in an instant. Approximately 40,000 people were killed immediately, and many more would die later from radiation sickness. Faced with the overwhelming destruction of two of its cities and the looming threat of further atomic bombings, Japan's Emperor Hirohito made the unprecedented decision to surrender on August 15, 1945. World War II was officially over. But the atomic bomb had already made its indelible mark on history. The world had entered the nuclear age, an era where peace and destruction were inextricably linked by the power of the atom. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki left scars that would never fully heal. Survivors, known as hibakusha, faced both physical suffering and deep emotional trauma. Japan would eventually rebuild, but the shadow of the atomic bomb remained over the nation and the world. The atomic bomb's legacy is one of both fear and hope. It is a reminder of mankind's incredible capacity for both creation and destruction. As we continue to navigate the complexities of a world shaped by nuclear weapons, the question remains: can humanity use this power wisely? Or will the atomic age be defined by its dark history? Ultimately, the story of the atomic bomb is not just the story of a weapon, but of humanity's enduring struggle to balance technological progress with moral responsibility.